Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester LTIDtv on YouTube and your favourite podcasts. Listen on your favourite podcast platform or ask your smart speaker to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like.
Right, Chris.
All right, chunkies, how the devil are we? Welcome along. Sloppy seconds time. I'm back. I need to get a life, I think. I need to get out of this. But not only am I back, football's come home. The men were out, so the women accepted it from Amazon. I didn't say that. I really didn't say that. But the EPL kicks off again. We have got Brentford on Sunday. I will remember it is Sunday. And, let's hope we've got a fit goalkeeper to play in that game. But tonight we're going to be trying to predict our league table. And when I say we, I'm going to bring him in. It's first time on the channel, but it's great to have him on. You probably know him as Sports Sub, but of course, Josh, let's bring you in. Good evening, Josh. How the devil are you?
Not too bad, mate. Obviously, a bit disappointed about the Casper news, but yeah, I'm good. Looking forward to the new season.
Good. We'll come on that in a second. But first of all, I have put a link to your website in the description below, but just give a shout out to where people can find you.
Yeah, I'm Sports on YouTube. A really strange name. I don't know why it's that myself, but Leicester content on there, Leicester transfer news, Leicester previews, reviews, all Leicester stuff's on there. So if you go and check that out, that'd be massively appreciated.
No problem at all. Like you say, we can't avoid it. We are doing a special tomorrow lunchtime at 1 o'clock. We're going to be sort of talking all things Casper. But yeah. I mean, I can't say that I'm disappointed. And this is going to sound horrible, and it's not meant to. But I have said sort of all the sort of off season that maybe this was time for him to go and move aside. So now he has gone. I can't sort of, have false tears. But do you think he had another season in him?
I think he would have had another season in him. But I think there's a time, especially as a goalkeeper, where he probably wanted a different challenge. He probably wanted to play European football somewhere else. Always been in Leicester for 11 years, which obviously isn't the nicest of places. He's going to move to the south of France, which is obviously better for that. But yeah, I think he wanted a new challenge. Yeah, a little bit. Leicester's all right, but yeah, I think it's a good decision by him. It's probably the right time. The only thing I'm disappointed about is obviously the actual timing of it. 1 week before the season isn't ideal, but yeah, I think he could have definitely played this year. But overall, I saw it coming potentially.
Yes, yeah, and I think as well. I mean, not just him. The whole sort of the defensive structure struggled last season. Should we put it politely? I don't know if you watched any of the women's football, but watching Portugal against Sweden, it was just like watching Leicester. They were zonal marking and they couldn't do it for toffee. It was brought back nightmares. I've said that if he goes, I don't think we should go and spend any money on bringing another player. We've got Danny Ward and Everton to be. I think Danny Ward for the Premier League and Everton for the Cup games. And I think Brendan's come out and said if we do buy another goalkeeper, it will probably be a third choice. Yeah. Would you go with Ward as the main one for the Premier League?
I think I would. I think it's an unpopular opinion amongst the fan base. I think loads of people want us to sign a new goalkeeper. I'll be open to it, but I think Ward's more than good enough, really. He's a Welsh international. Whenever he's played for Leicester, he seems to do all right, apart from the Forest game, but we won't speak about that too much. But yeah, he's good at commanding his box, good with his feet. He's made several penalty saves and shootouts in the Carabao Cup, hasn't he? So I think he'd be a good option. It's a risk, but I think it's one worth taking.
I'm happy with him, and I think Everson's got the potential. And like I say, give him the cup games. But I just think when we haven't or it appears we haven't got the money, why waste it on another first choice goalkeeper? We've got somebody we paid £12 million for.
Yeah,
sat in the wings, if you like,
Yeah, 100. Even with Everson, I think he's definitely one for the future. And I think last season he impressed at Preston. I think quite a lot of fans from them were quite big fans of him.
Yes, yeah. But hey, we won't get on to talk about bringing players in or getting players going out, because we'll just depress ourselves,
Yeah, not happening.
We'll be here till about 4 a.m. if we did that. Ravi, welcome along. Big up, Chris. Thank you very much. Great Euro show earlier. Thank you indeed. And UTCIAD, Bournemouth fan channel. Good evening as well, sir. How are you? Might not like us too much. I don't know. I can't speak for Josh yet, but yeah, I'm glad Bournemouth are back in, because I live in Poole, just outside Bournemouth. So when Leicester come down to Poole, it's like a home game for me. 20 minutes on the bus, rather than a 4.5-hour journey up to the King Power. Yeah. Right, so we're going to have we're going to go through the positions, starting at 20th and going up, obviously, to who we think will be champions. So let's get straight into it. As the guest, I will let you go first, Josh.
Wow.
Matty's in. Good evening, Matty. How are you? Welcome along. Who do you see finishing bottom?
All right, I've got my list here. Bottom place, I've gone with Bournemouth. I know there's a Bournemouth fan who just came in, so I'm sorry, but I've gone with Bournemouth to finish bottom this season.
I think they're going to struggle, and I would love them to stay up. Simply because they're down the road, and it's easy. I'm so disappointed when they got relegated. I think it's the Scott Parker position.
Yeah,
he's never. I'm nothing against Scott Parker. He was very complimentary going back to when we won the league, but I just don't know if he's got the nous.
Yeah, that's my main reason for it. I think the squad, it could be a bit more improved, but yeah, just like I said, Scott Parker hasn't really got the Premier League experience, so yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, Bournemouth fan said here, I'm half expecting it. We need to do something with our back line. What are your thoughts on Bournemouth fan on Scott Parker? Terry's in, says, hi Josh, long time no see since the Leicester fan TV days with Locks. My God, you're going back a bit there. I've not seen Locks. Is he still doing it?
I don't think so, no. That was a while ago, that.
I haven't seen him for I know he liked his gin and tonics, maybe.
Yeah, he does.
I do get where you're coming from with that, but for me, this is the team that I'm going to put as being bottom and going down, and that's Leeds United.
That's a shout. That's a big shout.
It is, but they've sold the best players, and they bought the players they bought in. Most of them I think are American, and for me they just I don't know if you ever watched, and I'm probably being totally unfair to Jesse Marsh, but if you ever watched Ted Lasso?
No.
It's basically I'm not sure, it's on Disney or something like that, but it's not a cartoon, it's a real life thing, but it's about a woman who divorces her husband cheats on her. She gets in control of this football club in the Premier League, wants to destroy it because the husband loves it so much, so she brings an American coach in. You're watching it all the time thinking, Leeds and Jesse Marsh. I just think they were so lucky to stay up last season, and they have weakened the squad. I just think that's what is going to be the downfall for them this year. But and Bournemouth fan here says Parker is making his job untenable. His comments would not have pleased Richard Hughes, but our business has been sluggish. So far, 2 midfielders where we needed one extra and a right back when we have Smith. Like I say, and it's not just being horrible, but I just think, like I say, he's been there, seen it, and he didn't get the T-shirt when he was here last time. And he had money with Fulham, didn't he, Scott Parker?
At least have signed someone, though. So.
Well, yeah. Okay. That is a very good point. I can't argue with that. Terry said Leeds all day for that one. Yeah. So you've got the Bournemouth at the bottom. I've got Leeds. Who the next team you've got going down with them?
I've got Nottingham Forest, which I'm very happy to say that. So yeah, it's not just me being biased. Obviously, I think we would all of them to go down, but I genuinely think they'll definitely fight Forest's safety. I think the bottom three is going to be incredibly close this year. There won't be like a Norwich who gets relegated with like 8 games left. I think it will go down to the wire. But yeah, Forest, they made a lot of signings, but I just can't really see it clicking that quickly. And if it does, it may be a bit too late, in my opinion.
No, I agree. And for me, I think the one plus they've got is they have got a decent manager, but you can't make all those purchases. It's not all about the numbers that you make, as we know. It's about the quality. And like I say, how quickly will they all gel? I mean, he's virtually bought a whole new team already, hasn't he? You know, but no. So you've got Forest, and I would love that to happen. I've taken so much shite off Nottingham Forest fans on different channels I've gone on, and they've got a Nottingham Forest fan on there. And my God, you know, I thought Arsenal and Man United fans were cocky, but bloody hell.
I've seen it, yeah. They need to go back down.
Yeah. I look at the fact that thank God we beat Derby, because, I mean, we'd lost to both Nottingham sides. But we all know Notts County are the number one team in Nottingham.
Exactly. Massive.
And I love calling them Notts Forest because they absolutely hate that. So for me, I've actually got in 19th Bournemouth. Sorry. Yeah. And I don't want them to, because, like I say, I'm being totally selfish here. The away games that I can go to from where I am are Bournemouth, Southampton, and Brighton. So a lot of what you said, I think Scott Parker just does not impress me. What other jobs do you get where failure is rewarded with a new job somewhere else?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just, I think he's an all right manager. He can definitely progress into a good manager, but keep having these relegation battles, I think it's just not really going to help, is it? So no.
Everton. And I hope Bournemouth don't end up becoming a Norwich or a Watford, because it's all, hate's a big word, and I don't hate the club, I don't hate the fans, I just hate the fact that they're up and down, and they're just, you know, they don't even have like 2 seasons. At least when Sheffield United came up, they had a decent stay up for 1 season. Matty's in. Good evening, Matty. Bournemouth, Fulham, and Everton for him. Bournemouth, his bottom 5 are 16th Bournemouth, Everton, Fulham, Southampton. And he agrees with me, Leeds at the bottom. Terry said he's got the horrible feeling Forest stay up by the skin of their teeth, and that does on tour flow every stream glow. Yes, he does. Well, having said that, I did have a Wolves fan last night for some reason picking on me. I don't know why. And Dave says, I think Forest will stay up, one of the 3 promoted teams to do well. There's always seems to be one that stays up, isn't there? 18th, who have you got in 18th?
18th, I have gone with Southampton. So, yeah, I think someone mentioned it in the chat a minute ago. I think Southampton, they've made some made some more right signings. I think Joe Aribo is a good signing from Rangers, but I think Hasenhutl's, he's been in there a while. He's had a lot of chances. He's lost 9-0 two times in this, obviously one season and the next. I think he's had too many chances to get away with it. And I think, if they go on a poor run of form, we may get sacked. And I think it could just be a bit of a downward season for Southampton. So, yeah, I could see it happening. But like I said, it's going to be incredibly close down there this year.
And I think the good thing is if they go down, we might actually stop buying players from them.
The players, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
We've been linked with even more. I mean, I did specials last season when we signed Bertrand and Vestergaard, and the Southampton fans couldn't stop laughing. Where else do you buy a player when you just smash the team 9-0? But well, we know. And what gets me is, and I didn't want to talk transfers, but I'm going to. We've had 2 offers for Vestergaard, and we've turned them both down. Why?
It's crazy, isn't it? I don't understand it.
I was on a Liverpool channel, or was watching a Liverpool channel earlier, and they've got Fulham this game, and I just nipped on while I was waiting to do mine. And the Fulham fan was saying, "Oh yeah, we'd love Vestergaard here," and I'm going, "Oh please just take him."
Go. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? We want to sell all these players, and as soon as a bid comes in, no.
I know exactly. Surely just getting some money for them.
Will especially him.
And get them off the books as well, because that's the other thing. We've got more. We've got 26 now, but it's a 25-man squad. We've got more players than that. We might not. We lost 30 million on Slimani, for God's sake. It's
that's the main issue. The wages.
Yeah, just don't mention Perez, because then I will be here all night. Now, believe it or not, I actually agree with you, and I have actually got Southampton as going down.
There we go.
I agree with you. I think Husenthal's actually a good manager, but he's being asked every season. He's having to sell his best players.
Yeah.
And the fact, and they always every season they have a good start, and you're thinking, oh, this could be the season, etc., and then they fall away at the end. And we saw that they always usually end up on the beach about 4 or 5 games before the end.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I'll be sorry if they go down. I'm shooting myself in the foot there, because that's another team that's just down the road from me. But I think Husenthal deserves a better team, and he deserves the backing of that club that he goes to. But I think you're right. I think this is the season we do say goodbye to Southampton, which I hate, because I've got Forest not in my bottom 3.
Cool.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll do a few Hail Marys and pray tonight before I go to bed. Rennie's in. Good evening, Rennie. How the devil are you? He says, hi, Chris and Josh. And blah, blah, blah. Terry says, Wolves are new feed and clean for Liverpool. Yeah, he's with Southampton for Leicester. Use them now as ours. Welcome along to 14, George. He's gone for the whole prediction in one message there. Keep shouting out when we go through it, 14. And can you do Saints again by 9 again, please? I thoroughly enjoyed that. So did I. Did you manage to get to that game at all, Josh?
I didn't know.
Oh,
it's on it's Friday night, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, of course, I was able to go because it was just, say, down the road. And I was with the Leicester fans. And it was still quite emotional at the time because, 60 minutes, we'd got the white scarves up and everything.
Yeah.
And I was with my son, and I was with and his now fiancée. And it was pissing down with rain. It was the most horrible night going. And it went like... the goals kept going in, and we're like,
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, what's going on? And at half time, I said, that will be it. I said, we'll either go on and score another load, but more than likely, we'll just take our foot off the gas now. And we're 5-0 up. And of course, we just went on and on. And I love the fact that at 8-0, Johnny Evans knew the record was 9 and was geeing us up to go for it,
That's proper, that is.
Oh,
what night.
It was. I was on Talk Sport on the way home. They rang me to go on, and I can't remember what I said, because I think I was just incoherent, to be honest with you. So happy.
Yeah.
Anthony's in. Good evening, Anthony. Welcome along. He's popped in to see where we put Arsenal. You're lucky they're not in the bottom three. And David, is Cucurella to Chelsea happening? Who knows? Who knows? You know.
Rumours.
Well, God, it is a silly season, isn't it? I mean, at this rate, we're going to have a five-sided, five-a-side team by the end of it. Who for you is just going to survive?
I've gone with Leeds United. Similar reasons to you, obviously. I think they'll finish a bit more higher. Obviously, they've lost Rafinha, Phillips, which is massive losses. But I think they may just scrape up once again. I don't know how, but I reckon they'll just do it. The home crowd will push them. So. Yeah, I just think Leeds have a bit more quality than the likes of Southampton, Bournemouth, and Forest. So, yeah, that's my reasons.
Well, again, we're not far out with agreement on that.
No,
Rennie said Ben Foster is replacing Casper. I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
choice.
So. I think Roger's already come out and said he's looking at Ward and Everson anyway.
Yeah.
And hang on, we've got the we've got the short arses come in. And our devil user.
All right, you're
I shouldn't say too much. He's doing my Casper show with me tomorrow. Welcome along, Ant. Nice to have you along. Anthony, Southampton in the bottom three. We know you're the second team, Anthony. I have actually gone for just surviving. And I think we're not a million miles out with any of ours. I've gone for Fulham.
Still not Forest.
Still not Forest. No. I know I hate myself. You can't hate me more than I hate myself for what I'm doing here. But yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, it's another season. We'll get 6 points.
I hope so. Like the FA Cup.
Yeah, let's forget that. We've got to beat them because otherwise they'll be dining off that all season. But yeah, I think Fulham, because I think Leeds won't just that. I think this is the season. They came so close last year. Had they still got Bielsa, I don't think I'd have them in the bottom three. But I think because of that and Bournemouth, and like we said with Southampton, it's just about time they went down anyway. That's why I've just got Fulham just staying up. But yeah, as I say, unfortunately, still no Forest. Yeah, and don't worry, I haven't got them winning the damn thing, so don't worry.
Good. That's fine.
Ant says there, quite right. But Brendan saying Iverson and Ward are what will we use? So we guaranteed to sign a new keeper. Come on, you know you love him, Ant. You know you love him. In 16th, who have you got in 16th?
16th. We have got Fulham. This is too similar, isn't it? But yeah, I've gone with Fulham. Pretty similar reasons to you, really. I think they made some all right signings. They've got a good manager. I think if Mitrovic can maybe score a quarter of his goals he scores in the Championship, he might do all right. Obviously, he usually scores about 2. But yeah, I think Fulham this year may have a good chance. But once again, they're one of those yo-yo clubs. So maybe this year they'll break that mould, but they could easily go down. I can see it happening.
Yeah, indeed. Right, well, who have I got at number 16? Is it, I'm looking at my list here, is it Nottingham Forest? I've got a drum roll here. Hang on a second.
There we go.
No, it's Everton.
Oh. Wow.
I know, you're never going to come on again, are you? Again, similar things with Leeds is that I don't think Frank's the manager for them. I think the club's in such a mess. Yeah, I think 3 clubs last year really struggled off the field. There was ourselves with the injuries, there was Everton, and there was Man United. They've got the money, but to me, Everton are a prime example of a club almost like kids in sweet shops. Oh, he's for sale, we'll have him. He's for sale, we'll have him.
Definitely.
And they're just, and I feel a bit sorry for Mashiri. I know the Everton fans hate him, but he's putting his money in, but he's just been advised very badly, So I think they were lucky last season. They've obviously again sold some of their players. So I think it will be another season. And I think Frank could be one of the first managers to go, to be honest with you.
That's a good shout. Yeah, I completely agree. I think, yeah, he's going to be. If they start poorly, they're going to be on. It's going to be very toxic, and Frank will be under a lot of pressure.
I think
I can see it happening.
If he doesn't get off, well, having said that, Rafa got off to a good start, didn't he? And look what happened.
Yeah, true.
So we know managers' jobs are very precarious, But so just above Fulham, who have you got there?
I've gone with Brighton. It's a bit of an interesting one, this one. But
yes, do explain.
I've got Brighton. I think if they lose Cucurella, who's the rumours are all up in the air right now, I think that could be a big loss. Obviously, they may be getting Colwell in, which could be a good signing. But I think this year, I think they peaked quite well last year, but I think this year they may just tail off. I think they had some inconsistent form last year, so I think I can see that continuing a bit more. So it's a shout, but someone just tells you Brighton are going to struggle this year.
You could well be right. Who have I got at number 15?
Surely
I'm just checking my list here. Surely it's got to be Forest, he says. Surely. Well, let me use the right mouse and I will put Forest there. Yes, finally. I just think they've got the manager out of the three clubs that have come up. We know Marco Silva at Fulham. He didn't have great success at Everton, did he? And I just think that Steve Cooper, I just think he's got something about him. And I am, as I say, you can't hate me more than I hate myself saying this, but I do think he's probably the reason that they will stay up. I think they're probably going to have second season syndrome. I mean, when you look at them, Jesse Lingard.
I can see where you're coming from. I think probably my bias has gotten away a little bit because I do think they have made some good signings, but I can definitely see why. If it ticks, I'll definitely be up there, I think.
Yes, yeah. Mella, good evening, sir. Watford fan. He knows my love for Watford. You missed it. You missed it earlier. I don't hate Watford or the fans. It's just they come up and down. Are you going to come back up again, Mella? That is the question. My bottom three is Leeds, Everton, and Nottingham Forest. Well, we love you for saying that. We love you for saying that. Hi, Phil's Fox. Good evening. The Brighton ad has officially gone to Chelsea moments ago. Wow. 52 million.
That's a lot.
Well, maybe they'll have no money left to buy Fofana then. That would be nice. Yeah. Right. In 14th, who are we going to put in 14th for you?
We are going to go with Everton. Similar reasons, really. Yeah, I just think they might come up a bit higher, but yet again, they'll definitely be in that relegation mix towards the end. But I think they'll just scrape it again. So
we're not a million miles out, are we? Really, with what we're saying, But I think, like I say, as we said, then Brentford have really got to get off to a good start.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brentford. What am I saying? Everton. Sorry, I'm saying Brentford because I'm putting Brentford there.
Ooh, that is a shout.
It is, and I think I love Brentford. I love to see because I still think of Leicester as a smaller team. I don't think of it as a Man United or a Liverpool. And I love to see the small. I would have loved to have seen Luton Town come up this season.
Yeah, so
and not just because of James Justin or Kieran Dewsbury Hall, but just they've never been done it before. The smaller. I would have loved it. And I really wanted Brentford, and I predicted Brentford to be the one that stayed up last season. The thing that Brentford did, two things, of course. One, they signed Christian Eriksen.
Yeah.
And I think that was a huge... I know, obviously, no team is one man, but I do think he was one of the big reasons they stayed up. They've obviously lost him now. And they were beating the teams that were around them at the bottom. When they had the good start, as most promoted teams tend to do, then they dropped off, but they were beating the teams that were around them. And I think they will get a little bit of second season syndrome.
Yeah.
but not enough to go down.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think they were quite good last year. Obviously Leicester did quite well against them, but even though we beat them twice, they were two very tough games, and we only just scraped it. So I think they're a hard team to beat, create a lot of chances, and I think if they can put a bit more of those chances away, I reckon they could have another good year. But yeah, I think they link with Damsgaard from Denmark, aren't they, for a replacement? If they could get him, I think that'd be quite good.
They actually they were 13th last season, so I've got them there or thereabouts. But it wouldn't annoy me if they proved me wrong. I won't lie. But unlucky 13th.
Lucky 13th. I've gone with this mid-table's tough, but I've gone with Wolves. I think a lot of people are predicting them to have a bit of an off season this year. I kind of agree. I think Jimenez is out injured for the first 2 months, which is obviously a massive miss. I don't really know who else is going to play up front. It's that Hwang Hee-chan guy. But yeah, I think the end of the season off quite poorly. They started well, but some people were predicting them to challenge for Europa League, etc. So yeah, they could potentially do well, but I can just see that end of the season form kind of continuing on, and I think they might just have a bit of a poor one this year.
Yeah. Oh, I do wish little Dan, the Wolves fan from last night, was in here watching this, because he was giving me some stick. Surprise, surprise. I agree with you.
There we go.
I think they peaked last. I thought at one point last season that they were going to maybe sneak into that 7th place. They didn't. And I think the thing that I actually had them higher up until last night when I did this, because the board aren't backing the manager.
No.
The manager wanted 4 new players in last term, that he got 1. So if he gets that again, will he go? How many Portuguese players can you sign? I don't know. I just think they will definitely struggle this season.
I agree. I think they've got quite an aging squad as well. If you look at Cody, Neves. I don't know about Neves actually, but yeah, I think the squad's a bit aging. They haven't really refreshed after. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Fulham 17th. Del Boy's in. Good evening, Del Boy. What's the crack, young man? How are you? Get the swear jar already? He's an Arsenal fan. He loves swearing. I don't know if you know him at all. Scott, if you ever actually go and watch his channel, if you were to beep every swear word out, you just wouldn't. You wouldn't have a show. It really wouldn't have a show. And that's just when he's talking about Arsenal. Scott says Southampton 15th. The Bournemouth fans channel. I'm not sure Wolves will be down that low myself. Anthony, 5 likes, 14. Yeah, please do like and subscribe. That would be great. 14th for Brentford, and to both channels, obviously, don't forget Josh's channel. The description is in the link below on YouTube. 14th Brentford, and Anthony's going here we go. It takes them 33 minutes. It takes them half an hour to actually, whatever show they go in, to have a dig at Arteta. I tell you what, guys, Arsenal fans, if he won you the bloody league and the Champions League double, you'd still want him out. Leeds, Bournemouth, Everton going down for David. Chris, I've seen you predict with Dan that Sheffield United will beat us. Did I? Well, I've got to be totally honest with you, Mela. I did do a championship preview with Dan. He's a Burnley fan. And so, of course, they've just gone down. And I had no idea what I was predicting, because I don't know any of the teams.
Not either, to be honest.
Just
wing it.
So I don't know, Mela. I could well have done. My team, Wolves, probably 10th. And Bournemouth says, I think Wolves will finish above Palace, Brentford and Villa. Wow. Okay. So, let's say we're into the 12th position, away from unlucky 13. Who do you see filling your 12th position, Josh?
We've gone with Brentford. So, yeah, yet again, we're pretty much same areas, aren't we? So,
yes.
Yeah, kind of similar reasons to you. I just think they'll have a bit more of a better season than the likes of Wolves, etc. So, yeah, Brentford up in 12th again. Another good year for them.
Yeah, and I think that will stay up. I would like them to stay up. I have gone Brighton.
Brighton, yeah.
Which
Still
isn't a
similar.
million miles from yourself, but
No.
I'm not a Graham Potter fan.
Mm.
I don't buy into this. He's the best thing since sliced bread. He should be the next England manager. He bends down, the sun shines out his arse. To me, what has he done in English football? He said, well, he won this with in Norway or Sweden, wherever he was. Well, Roy Hodgson won a bloody league in Switzerland. But
He's useless.
shit he was over here.
Yeah.
Last season, I did eat a little bit of humble pie because they started off really, really well.
Yeah.
And then March time, I think it was, they went on a really bad run and they were actually bottom of the form table.
Yeah.
And that was how bad they were getting. They were, for the sort of 5 games, the bottom of the form table. But again, he got a lot of games against teams around him and he started to win. But I just think it will be another. I mean, you've got them 15th, so I've got them 12th. I just think it's going to be another tough season. And like we've just seen, they're losing the best players again.
Yeah. I think it's just a case of how they really invest that, but it's just I think it's a case of attracting them players to Brighton. And I kind of agree with you, Paul. That's why I put them 15th. I just think they're just a bit inconsistent, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Bookline, welcome, sir. Not seen you for ages. How are things in America? As the winner of the Long Ball North America, I think you were the winner of the Long Ball North America because you were the only North American in the Long Ball League. Take note, Wolves will bottle relegation. West Ham around 15th. Wow. What about Leeds, Bookline, with the American manager? Talking about local man is happy for the Watford fan. Villa 12th, Wolves 11th. Man United 10th for Scott. Well, let's have a look. So we're on to 11th.
Yeah. I've gone with Crystal Palace. Now, I do think they could have a really good season this year, but I just think the teams above them just have a bit more quality. But lots of Elise, Eze, obviously got Zaha in there. He's an ever present. Edouard, he could do well this year. I think they could have a good year, but I think Palace fans, if they finish 11th and have a good cup run, I think they'll probably take that. But I definitely think they could do better. But I just think if they pick up a few injuries to key players, the squad depth isn't really there.
Yeah. Guess what? I agree.
There we go. We're on it.
We're on a roll.
Stick a bet on this.
To me, I wasn't sure I got so much wrong last season. You wouldn't believe it. And it was it was the worst season. I don't think I've ever scored so low in the prediction leagues. Nothing was going to plan. And I thought Palace were going to struggle. And they started off really well.
Yeah.
Patrick Vieira's first managerial job in, the Premier League, but he obviously got the Premier League experience. I love the fact that he nearly kicked the head off that fan that had a go at him. I only wish he'd connected. But yeah, I just think it's mid-table again for them. There's nothing excites me about them. They're there or thereabouts every year, aren't they? They kind of, they say that after a while, owners behave like the dogs, and I think football clubs tend to act like their managers. And to me, Crystal Palace are still Roy Hodgson.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Do nothing for me at all. Well, Anthony's on a roll here. Let me catch up. Scott's got Palace in 7th. Leicester 9th for Anthony. Ooh, Anthony. That's Arsenal down a few places now. Newcastle 6th for Scott. Anthony's Villa 8th. West Ham 7th. Man United 6th. Arsenal 5th. Chelsea 4th. Tottenham 3rd. And then he had a break. Let's just see. And Scott says, Anthony, surely Arsenal 5th is Arteta out. And David says Leicester 9th. Well, we're into the top 10, so we're into the top half. And who have you got in 10th?
I've gone with Newcastle now. sorry for any
Wow.
Newcastle fans in here, but I really do not. I'm not a fan of this hype around them. I think yes, they ended the season really well last year, but they still got Chris Wood up front. They've got Miguel Almiron on in there. I just think it's just a bit. I think they'll do. I think they'll do. Obviously, they'll do better, but I just can't really see them sustaining it over a long period. And I think if they don't they've signed some good players, but I think me, you, everyone else probably expects them to make a few more deals. Obviously, hopefully not James Maddison, but yeah, I think 10th's all right, but I just think I can't really see them pushing for like 7th, where some people have put them.
You might not agree with me then.
Yeah.
Later on. I like Newcastle. I think because they've got the money to actually smash that so-called, Sky's arse-licking top 6.
Top 6, yeah.
And I wanted West Ham to do it this season. If it can't be Leicester, I just want somebody else just to get in there and put the cat among the pigeons. I really, really do.
Yeah.
But for 10th,
fair enough.
I have gone. Yeah, for 10th, I've actually gone for Villa.
Villa.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with that.
Yes. And I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting year for Gerrard. I mean, last year
definitely.
was very much his free pass. And he did better than Dean Smith in his last season there. He's got to produce this year. He really has. He's got the name. He's got some of the players going there. Obviously, he's got Coutinho, 17 million for him is a snip. I would have loved him for that. And the thing is, I think both Newcastle that you've gone for and Villa that I've gone for, listening to the managers, and I heard the chief executive or the spokesperson for Villa saying they're taking it step by step. We're not going to smash it and go we're in Europe in 2 seasons. And I think a lot of people have got Gerrard down to be the first manager sacked, but I think he will be, unless they're really sort of fighting relegation. And the interesting thing this year is going to be with the World Cup.
Yeah.
Because we all break for the World Cup. We come back and then there's 2 weeks to the January window. And I think there will be a lot of managers who could be sort of checking for their P45 over the World Cup period, because I think a lot of clubs will be making decisions. I don't think Villa will be down there, but he was just so inconsistent last season.
Yeah, definitely. Well, based on where I've put them, kind of agree with you. So we'll see.
Let's just catch up with a few. Anthony and Scott are talking to each other. Arsenal, I don't even know what that's saying, David, there. I had Palace 10th, said Doug. Yeah, well, yeah, you're there. You're not far off us. But on Leicester City 5th if we keep Maddison for Fafana. You know me too well. Man United 7th, says David. Matty says Wilson, Maxi, Bruno, and Maddison to take the tune to 8th for me.
Maddison.
Not mad. What you got to? I think what people realise is that, and I think I actually, I don't know if you're a Brendan in or Brendan out guy.
I'm on the fence.
You're on the fence, right? I've always been, in fairness, a Brendan in. Some of the things he does, some of his tactics annoy me, but we had that with Pearson, didn't we? We know managers. They do. I mean, I actually did. I did a conversation with Brian Little earlier on today, and I don't know. I'm not sure of your age, but you know that he was manager of Leicester. We did the playoffs and the Silence of the Lambs. And I was actually, and it's going to be premiered tomorrow at 7:00 on the channel, only on YouTube, not on Facebook or Twitter. But it's a 1-to-1 with myself and Brian Little, lovely guy. And he was saying, what you don't see as fans is the 7 days training behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and I think the thing with sort of Villa and a lot of these clubs, and I think with Newcastle as well, we do not need to sell players. Because if we keep the same squad, I know Casper's gone. We haven't got a bad squad. It's the squad that got us to fifth. Problem is, obviously, other clubs have also have now obviously bought and improved. But we don't need to sell. We will sell if somebody makes us an absolutely ridiculous offer, as in Maddison. But and come to us with these. Don't keep pussyfooting about like Man United did for Maddison. If you want him, make us an offer of sort of 70 million or whatever, and you could possibly get him. But I don't think he would let Tielemans and Maddison go in the same window.
Yeah, if you're talking about the price, that's why I like Brighton for sticking a 50 million price on Cucurella from Chelsea. So quite a lot of teams would have just folded and just let him go. But yeah, they've been pretty. That's good business by them. So yeah, same again. I can't see us selling Maddison and Tielemans. I think the one player who's probably going to go is Tielemans, but I think we'll keep holding for Fofana and Maddison.
I think we're in the strongest position we're in is Fofana. He has started playing his old tricks with the old tweet that he did when he was at St Etienne. He needs to be taken into an office and taken down a peg or two, because he's got to know that no player is bigger than the club. And he's got to realise that. He's only just signed a 5-year contract.
Exactly, it's just strange. I don't understand. Yeah, I think hopefully today Rodgers has gone up to him and just he's had a word with him. So
yes, because and also as well, it's the World Cup this season, as I've said, and if Fofana stays at Leicester, he's going to be playing virtually every game. We know that. He's a great player. If he goes to Chelsea, will he be playing every game? And if he messes us about and we don't play him every game, because I think he could make it into the French World Cup squad. And I think a lot of players have got to do it. Maddison, he would, I think, would get more notice, and whether he'll ever get picked together or not, I don't know. But Tielemans as well, he's got to think about Belgium and his place there. That's
what I was saying. Even if Maddison goes to Newcastle, obviously he's probably going to start there, but it's a change of system. He may not go up to speed quickly. World Cups, the squad selections in November. He's got about 10 or so games to hit the ground running and try and prove a point. So I think stay where you are, and that's the best shot.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we all know it's silly season and paper talk, so we're not. As I say, we're not going to be selling every single player that everybody says we are. But it's just embarrassing that we haven't bought anybody. Let's be honest with you. Okay, so we're in. We've done the top with 10th place. Who have you got in 9th?
I've gone with West Ham United. It's a bit of an interesting one again. I think they've had 2 really good seasons. I think last season they did very well, lucky not to get a bit further in the Europa League. But I think this year they may just fade away a little bit. They made some good signings in Scamacca. I think he's a fantastic signing, but I just think they might just fall off a bit this season. The motivation may not be there. They've still got Europe in the Conference League, which may disrupt them slightly. Obviously, they can make a change side in that, but yeah, I think West Ham might have a bit of a difficult season. I don't think they'll be struggling at all, but I think they may just not be right up there.
Yeah, and I think you're right. They had squad problems last season. In that they didn't have a big squad. Basically, they did well, as Leicester did, in getting to a European semi-final. But they did peter off towards the end because of the squad depth. They wanted Jesse Lingard back, and as we know, the mercenary that he is, he has gone to Nottingham Forest for a season. And I think they're just going to struggle, to be honest with you, because, like I say, they've got Europe again. They are buying players, but they're not necessarily. I think the best thing they've done is keep hold of Declan Rice so far.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's a key man. Yeah.
It's early days yet, but I think he could be staying because guess what? I agree. I've got West Ham at number 9. Too good. Great minds, as they say. Great minds. Now Now then, here's where it's getting interesting because we're into the top 8 and still no sign of Leicester.
Indeed. Talking of Leicester, though, I have put us in 8th place, which is obviously the same as last season. But yeah, I think this season's going to be a very strange season for Leicester. Obviously, we haven't made any signings. I think me and you have probably spoken about this a lot already on our own channels and stuff. But yeah, I think Leicester this year, it could go either one or two ways. It's either going to go really well or really bad. So I can't really see a middle ground in there. So 8th place, I think. I would take that if we do well in one of the cups. I really want us to go for the FA Cup again or the Carabao Cup once again. Obviously, try and challenge for Europe, but I just think if we get hit with injuries again, we haven't really brought in any players to obviously just deal with those problems. So, yeah, 8th place for me.
8th place, sorry. It's like, you know, you're at school and you get accused of copying off your mate. Yeah. I have got Leicester in 8th, exactly the same. And it hurts me to say this, but I just, like you say, 8th and a good cup run, it's not the end of the world, you know. And last season, it wasn't a bad season. It was just disappointing.
It could have been a lot better.
Yeah, it was almost like we were victims of our own success, you know. Yeah. And the problem is that for the last couple of seasons before that, that door that was open to get you into the top 6, there was only really us pushing for it.
Yeah.
You know, West Ham were sort of hanging on to our coattails a bit. But now that door's open again, but there's not just us, there's West Ham, you know, Tottenham are back and Arsenal are back. And if we'd signed players, I would have possibly put us getting into Europe. And I'd love to finish 7th again and get into Europe. But I just don't think we will, unfortunately. And we'll again just chatting, I think. Matty says the reality is we're not as rich as people think we are. Our owners are rich, but because of Mike Ashley, we've lacked actual revenue in the last 14 years. That's why we're being careful. I think Ashley's also, because he's not spent the money, has left you in a good position with FFP.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something else, of course, we've got to, you know, consider. But but yes, I would have loved to have said higher for Leicester, but yes. And 8th, and like you say, a good cup run again. It'd be great to not win it for how many years and then win it two in 3 years. So that would be good.
Hopefully full capacity fans as well. I think that would make it.
Yes, that'd be nice. That would be. I wasn't able. I did get to the Community Shield, but I didn't.
So
when we had it, of course, it was the Super Cup of England. But now we've not got it anymore. It's back to being the Community Shield.
Yeah, McDonald's Cup.
Yeah, I didn't get it. It's a pre-season friendly again. Right, 7th and last place in Europe. Who have you got sat in there?
I've gone with Aston Villa. I know this is a massive shout. Like I said, I think this one could either go. This prediction could be really good or absolutely awful, and that all depends on Steven Gerrard. I think the signings they've made, I think they're really good. Kamara, I think he's excellent. I think that's the final bit which Villa are missing. Obviously, Coutinho is a given. He's excellent. Buendia is a good player as well. Yeah. Diego Carlos in defence. I think that's an excellent bit of business. I think on paper they have got a very good squad, but I think the manager's the only doubt in my mind if they'll actually do as well as that squad could do. Because on paper, I believe that squad's definitely capable of 7th. So, yeah, it's a tough one, but yeah, it's a big shout. But I've gone with it.
Putting Aston Villa in Europe is up there with me keeping Nottingham Forest in the Premier League.
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it?
I'm sorry, mate, but it's
sensible.
Now, well, I have actually gone, and this is a big shout as well. But I have gone for Newcastle.
Yeah, fair enough.
What I like about Newcastle, like I say, is that they aren't going mad. They aren't saying we're going to win it next season. They're not going out and bought Messi and Ronaldo and all these. They are taking it, and they've got a great manager in Eddie Howe.
Yeah,
I came down here to the south coast to Poole, it was outside Bournemouth, 15 years ago, and when I came here, that start of that season, after I came down, Bournemouth were in the 4th tier on minus 17 points. The players were outside the Pavilion Theatre with buckets collecting money. They were seconds, and there's a video on YouTube about it, but there were seconds from going out of business. They've got Eddie Howe in, and the rest, as they say, is history. He is such a good manager. I'm surprised he went for Newcastle because he went to Burnley. He didn't stay at Burnley because all his family and everybody's down south, and he's now probably gone as far away from the south as you could now.
It's possible.
Possible, exactly. And I think I think the fact that he got them into the Premier League from minus 7, and it wasn't continuing, every season, but over the sort of the 10 years, to go from minus 17th and, literally a nod in a press conference away from going bust, because if the guy had shook his head instead, Howard Karsner, the administrator, was going to fold the club. But the guy did nod, keep them in business. That story of him keeping Bournemouth in the Premier League that season, had we not won it, would have been the season. It would have been the story of the season, So they've got a good manager. They've made some really good signings. Yes, they've still got Chris Wood, which is unfortunate. I liked him when he was at Leicester. It's just me, I think.
Yeah, I did.
But
not now.
I've got Newcastle as just getting into 7th.
Yeah.
Right now, that is the Conference League position. In the Europa League position, in number 6, who have we got?
Manchester United. I think most people are going to say these here. I'll be surprised if you haven't put United here. But yeah, I think once again, it could go one of two ways. If it clicks under Ten Hag, they could really push ahead and do well and push for Champions League. But I just think the players they've got on the team, it's just not going to work, really. I think the style of football he wants to play, the players he's got just doesn't really suit it. And I think that starts right at the back with De Gea in goal. He wants the ball-playing goalkeeper, and De Gea just isn't really that. So, yeah, United, unless to make some fantastic signings, 2 or 3, I can't see it.
No.
No.
But you are quite right. I've gone for Man United as well. They've got, we've got Tielemans, they've got Ronaldo. Is he staying? Isn't he staying? And funnily enough, I did the show I did earlier, which was a review of the Women's Euros. I did it with a Manchester United fan, Maisie. And I said to her that this is probably the best chance they've got with this manager of actually doing something. And I find with Manchester United, and if there's any fans, I'm going to get probably rockets for this if there's any Man United fans in the chat. But the problem with Man United is they were so successful for so long that fans have grown up not knowing the pre-Alex Ferguson days, and before Alex Ferguson came along, Man United were the 1980s, 90s Arsenal. They won the odd FA Cup. They'd buy every player that they thought they wanted, and never won the league. They couldn't go farther back to Busby, of course, it's a different story. But for that, they were nothing. They had so much success for so long under Ferguson, and people sort of forget that. And I think they want instant success.
Success. Yeah.
But it's like Watford. No disrespect, Mella, but you know what Watford are like for going through managers. If that manager doesn't come get Watford, if he gets them back up again, doesn't get them into the top 5 after 2 games, he loses his job, And I think that's the thing with United. And it's hell. I mean, how do you follow Sir Alex Ferguson, especially when he's still on the board? It's like, it's like the Grim Reaper waiting for you outside. But Ten Hag could be the person to save them. But he's got to be given time by the board, which I think he possibly will. Whether he'll be given time by the fans or not is another story.
It's another one of those places, isn't it? Toxic if they do do poorly, and I think United's it's poison chalice. I think they're just like you said, the chopping and change of managers, players. I think they just need 1 year to just leave it and then just let it build up. They need to put the groundwork in first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, last season was an utter utter disaster. They sack a manager who had got them second and fourth, and therefore, Champions League football for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
They couldn't get a permanent manager, so they got a temporary manager in, who then was going to do a part-time job with Austria, and then he went completely, and the place was, like you said, was toxic. And I don't know if anybody, or whether you listen to Talk Sport a lot at all.
A bit, yeah.
But in the morning they have Simon Jordan on, and you love him or you hate him. He's a very Marmite guy, but he does speak sense. He does, he used to own Crystal Palace, so he knows his stuff. And he was saying, what is the Man United player that they're going for? Is it De Jong?
De Jong, yeah.
De Jong. They said they are going for a player that doesn't want to come to Man United.
That is crazy, isn't it?
He's doing everything in his power not to have to come. And that's the problem. This is Man United, and love it or hate it, they've got the name, and they should have managers that were walking barefoot over broken glass to manage them.
Exactly, yeah.
And now you've got players that don't even want to go to the club. So, yeah, he's got a long rebuilding job on. And I think because it's Man United and because of some of the players they've got there, they're not going to as much as I'd love them to be in a relegation battle, but they are going to be 6 for me.
Yeah.
Now, that gives them, of course, Europa League. Who have you got for the second Europa League position, Josh?
I've gone with Arsenal. I know there's a few Arsenal fans in this, so interesting. But yeah, 5th for Arsenal. I think, don't get me wrong, the signings they've made is excellent. Gabriel Jesus is a fantastic buy. Zinchenko, of course, he's solid in there. And I think they're going to strengthen a lot. But I just think teams above them, if they stay consistent, I think the quality is just a bit too much. And Arsenal's, I think it need a few players with a bit more experience. I still think that obviously the squad's one of the youngest in the league, I think. So, yeah, I think it'll just come down to that in the end.
Yeah. Brew, he thinks Leicester will finish 15th. Wow.
Boo.
Yeah, boo to Brew. Well, it probably won't surprise you. I've got them in 5th as well.
There you go.
And to be honest, Anthony knows my banter that I have with. I actually refused to go on a few Arsenal chats because I hate the fact that whatever you do. I went on a chat once and I actually ended up reading a book because the 2 Arsenal fans were arguing over Arteta. And I was a guest and I'm sat there just reading my book because I was getting bored, and I've refused to go on one this week. I went on to the guy called Luke. I went on to his show, and he said to me, like, "Oh yeah, we'll have to do something." I went, "No, we won't." He said, "Yeah, we're playing each other second game." I said, "Yeah, but I'm not having you on the channel because it will all end up." I was on his Instagram channel once, and I was getting so much abuse because I said to him, "I said, why don't you get him behind your manager?" The thing is, I mean, we know there's managers that we've not got behind, but he's getting you 4th, 5th, 6th. What more?
I know, it's crazy.
It's taking time. He said, "But I want to see improvement." Well, you have improved because you've got young.
Last year was a huge improvement, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then he turned around to me and said, "But come on," he said, when are we going to win the Premier League again? I went, "For sake." I said, "Liverpool, it took
years
them
off it.
Yeah, it took Liverpool 30 years to do it, for God's sake."
It's not going to happen overnight.
No, exactly.
Crazy.
And they have made some excellent signings, but I just, again, it's another. I think if they don't get off to a good start and the crowd get onto the back, I do feel I feel sorry for the players. But they have made some good signings, and I think Arteta will prove to be a good manager. He'll get you up to 4th, and let's be honest with you, we all know that is Arsenal's level, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
I actually have a thing. In fact, I tell you what. Let's do this. I do this usually for 1 or 2 clubs, but my favourite one is probably Arsenal at the moment.
It's time for the Daily Arsenal.
how long? I love doing this. With Tottenham, it's how long since they won a trophy, but with Arsenal, it's how long since they won the Premier League. And it is actually 18 years, 80 days, 5 hours, 51 minutes, and 47, 48, 49 seconds.
And I wasn't even born.
Yeah, well, there you go. You made me feel old. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, get real here, Arsenal. You know,
Yeah, come on.
Could be a long wait for you. Could be a long wait for you. I don't know why doing it about Arsenal just give me a bit more pleasure.
Yeah, I like it.
Just out of 18 years without a league title isn't good enough. Says Craig. And just actually talking next, of course, we have got Arsenal coming up after Brentford.
Yeah.
And I'm actually hoping, if he's free, he has said he's going to come on, that when I do the opposition preview, 9 o'clock on a Thursday, I will be having Lee Judges on from Arsenal Fan TV. So fingers crossed.
Like
He's one of the more sensible ones, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, and that's saying something, but yeah. We've nearly got it twice, but he's been all over the world following Arsenal, so bless him. Now, I have a sneaky feeling here, Josh, that we might be agreeing with these next 4 positions.
So do I. Yeah.
Who have you got? Is your number 4? Does it by any chance start with a C?
May do, yes. They end in A as well. Yeah, Chelsea.
Mm.
It's going to be the same, I think.
Yes, yeah. I've got to agree. I might as well just do it now because I'm in total agreement. For me, this is going to be an interesting year because they've obviously got money to spend because they've got a rich owner, but they haven't got the Abramovich money.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the signings they made are good. Sterling's obviously a good signing, Koulibaly, but I think losing the likes of Rudiger is pretty. I think that's a big miss to the side. I think half the defence has gone, hasn't it? So if it clicks, I'll do well. But I just 4th. I think that's the perfect kind of area.
Yes, yeah. Matthew says, "Hope you never do that with us, Chris. We're nearly approaching 100 years without a trophy. I'd have to get the cobwebs down first, Matty. You know." Anthony, did you enjoy the Daily Arsenal? He always comes on and asks for the Daily Spurs, and he knows if he does that, he always gets the Daily Arsenal. Depending on if they get Fofana, which I don't think they will, but I think
no chance.
I think 4th this year. Now then, who have you got in 3rd?
The Bottlers.
Sorry?
The Bottlers, Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, sorry. I'm miles away then. I know. I mean...
Yeah.
I agree. Totally, yeah. Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, for me, they've got probably the best manager they've had in years, and this is the best chance of actually doing something.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Conte, excellent manager. He showed it in the Premier League before. Last season, Tottenham started off very poorly. He had a few poor results, but he turned it around on the whole, didn't he? So
yes,
yeah. Obviously, they've got Kane, Son. We all know that. They made some good signings in Basuma. Defensively, they've improved quite a lot as well. So I think the foundations are definitely there, and I think this is the season they could probably push on and maybe win a trophy, which is unlikely, but you never know.
How Luke Thomas, obviously our left back. How old is he? Is he 21?
21 or 20, I think. Yeah.
20, something like that. And he's won 2 more trophies than Harry Kane has.
Well, there you go. That's mad, isn't it?
So I'd throw that in for everybody's interest, a bit of information there. I think with Tottenham, they went for Nuno, which was about their 50th choice manager on the list. Didn't work out, and I don't think he was the right manager for them. And I think it was purely the fact that he was the only one that wanted to come there. You know,
that's it.
Which again says a lot about Tottenham. Conte turned them down in the summer. They then went back to Conte, and he was in such a strong position because it was almost the fact of Tottenham needed him more than he needed Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
no manager that loses the job these days is penniless. Let's face it, they all get the good packages. And he could go in. I think he's been probably been the first manager that's actually been able to stand up to Daniel Levy and say, "You do it my way, or I go."
Yeah, he even mentioned it sometimes, didn't he? And after games where he lost, he was on about, do I want to stay or whatever. So I think Conte. I think Levy would have a lot of respect for him, and he wants. Obviously, I think Conte is probably the best man to lead them forward, really.
No, I agree. And as much as it pains me to say it, they have got a lovely stadium.
Yeah.
So, right, this is that the top two. The top two, which obviously we're going to say it's going to be Liverpool or Man City. Last season, Liverpool nearly did. They made it interesting for us all as sort of mid-table neutrals. That said, I think the relegation battle was more interesting on the final day. Who have you got in second?
Gone with Liverpool. I think everyone's going to do that. It's a bit boring, isn't it? But Liverpool second.
Are we getting? And again, I'm going to agree with you on that one. Are we getting sort of like Scotland here with Celtic and Rangers?
I hope not, but I think we could go that way. It's just the difference between them two and the rest is just massive, isn't it?
And Liverpool have lost Mane this season. You know,
that's true.
I just don't. I just think Manchester City that they've made. You know, they've got Haaland, and I mean he absolutely looked awful in the in the Community Shield. And you've also got a billion pound player, in Grealish, who sort of decides, he might turn up one week and not the next. Let's be honest with you. And we've got Man City winning it yet again. As boring as it is, but I've been surprised with Man City. Yes, they've sold some of the players, and that might be the FFP. They've had to sell Sterling to be able to bring Haaland in the big scheme of things. But I'm surprised that because they've been selling them to their basically, top six rivals.
I didn't expect them to do that, but I guess they just. I don't really understand. I don't really think why you would do that, but I guess I just think they won't have enough of an impact, or they guess they think they're too strong. But their squad depth alone though is crazy, isn't it, in all positions? So I think it's going to be simply Man City.
Yeah. Anthony says here, Chris, who do you like more, Arsenal or Tottenham? I mean, that's like saying who do I hate more, Nottingham Forest or Coventry? There's 6 of one and half of the other. Well, that is our. We've actually. I mean, we've agreed on the top 6. And we've agreed on 1 or 2 others. We've not been that far out with some as well. I have to be honest with you. I do hope that you are right with with your bottom 3 of having Forest in there. Really, really do. But and we both went for Leicester in 8th, so you can't call us biased, can you?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's pretty spot on. Actually, come back to this video in May, and that'll be the table-ish.
It will be interesting, obviously, because I can say this. It'll be interesting to come back at the end of the season, and we must do that. Come back at the end of the season and see just how close we were. One thing I just want to quickly ask you before I let you go, and obviously I realise we started a bit later than I planned this tonight. Cucurella, like we say, signed for Chelsea for 50-odd million. Do you think that's going to say, well, we don't want Fofana now?
Yeah, I think 50 million's a stretch, isn't it? I think they're offering Cole will win a potential swap or something to do with Brighton for that. So I think that pretty much excludes Fofana going there. But even if that didn't happen, I didn't really think Fofana was going to go there unless he really forced a move and put a transfer request in. Because I think Leicester are very much determined to keep hold of him, especially just for this season. Maybe next summer, but that's a long way away. But I think Fofana's pretty much he's safe.
I think, yeah, and I think now that they've bought, the Brighton guy, I think that makes me feel happier. I mean, I think he must regret pinning to the top of his social media the other day, thanking everybody for sticking by him while he was injured. He'll always do his best for the Foxes, etc. And I, like many, many others, had to comment on it, and I just put, actions speak louder than words. Let's see where you are in in a few weeks' time. Josh, thank you so much for that.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me on.
No, it is a pleasure. We must do it again. You must come on again. Let me just clear this here. Give a shout out. As I said, I've put your link in the description below, but just a bit tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Sports on YouTube. Like I said earlier, very, very random name. But Sports on YouTube, Leicester content. Yeah, just pretty much Leicester. That's literally it. But yeah, Leicester previews, reviews, transfer news, some vlogs here and there as well. So Leicester stuff. So if you could subscribe, that would be massively appreciated.
Get over there and give the guy some support. He's a Leicester channel. He's great. Do you still do your match day vlogs?
Yeah, as long as I can't speak the games they go to, I do. Yeah,
I love those. It's the raw emotion, happy to nearly being in tears. But no, mate, thank you very much. Fingers crossed for the coming season. Fingers crossed that we've still got a team come the end of the transfer window.
By the looks of it, we don't, but I think we will.
I think we will. Thanks very much, mate. I appreciate it's late, and we'll speak soon. But thank you very much for that. And
cheers,
take care. Stay safe. All the best. Cheers. Bye bye. Thanks a lot to Josh for coming on there. Well, we agreed. We got the top 6 we agreed on. Leicester we agreed on. West Ham 8th and 9th, and 11th with Palace, 13th with Wolves. And the rest, and Southampton 18th. So it actually was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Half the Premier League we agreed on where they would finish. I didn't think we'd actually be that close, but we will revisit this. We will revisit this at the end of the season and see where we did. Talking about the end of the season, he is in. Dan, the Burnley fan. Dan, how are you, sir? How the devil are you? Mella's in, so you can have a quick championship talk if you like in the description. I love that. I love doing that with him. He hates me for it, but yeah. Let's just see what else is being said here. Last few comments before we go. Craig, top 6, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, Man United, West Ham. Can somebody tell me where Reading are predicted to finish? 2 years ago, they were all saying they were going to pass us again. I can remember Reading being in the top flight. I can remember them going straight back down again. Sorry, I'm late to the party. Have you got a note? Where have you put Burnley? I'll tell you where I've put Burnley, Dan. I've put them in the bin outside. That's where I've put Burnley. Oh, you know I love you. Anthony, 24th in the championship. Welcome, Dan, says Scott. I ain't Burnley out of the Football League yet. I think they've got to rename Burnley, because I did do the watch along for the Burnley Huddersfield match, and that wasn't Burnley that were playing. They actually passed the ball. They just weren't hoofing it, and I'm like, I thought I was watching West Ham. I'm not going to lie. Nobody's got a lot of confidence in you, Dan. I think with that team, I know it was only one game, but I think you're going to be in the playoffs. I really do. Make sure you sub to Josh's channel. It's a great channel. Let's have a look what everybody says. Don't hold back, guys, says Dan. We really love you, Dan. No, we don't. we said we loved him while he was in the Premier League because we had to do things with him. And let's be honest with you, there's not a lot of great lot of choice if you're doing a Leicester Burnley game. So we were nice to him, but now he's gone. God, we can say what we want about him. He's going to be a couple of seasons before he comes back up again. So, we don't love him at all. That's what we're saying. You know that by now, Chris isn't the same without you by his side, right? Exactly. He needs me. He needs me. It's like Ant without Deck. Ant without Deck. That's what it is. Dan, did you not read the latest manifest from Chris? It's the abused Burnley season. I hadn't said anything about Burnley until I saw him come in, and in fact, you guys started picking on him before me. Bournemouth fan says, Turf Moorhouse, at least you won't be able to go 2-0 up from 1-1 this season. Now. Craig says, Chris, can you see Tielemans and James Maddison staying? Yes, I can see James Maddison staying. I can see Fofana staying now that Chelsea have signed Cucurella. Tielemans, I just wish he'd make up his mind because it's pissing us fans off now. We're in limbo. Just go, Tielemans, please. Although Scott thinks Tielemans will stop. I don't think he will, Scott. Anthony says, Dan Burnley like the dearest item in the pound shop, £1.50 playoffs. How did Bristol City get on the opening game, by the way, Anthony? Just remind me of that. Who would you sooner let go, Fofana or Maddison? Neither, because neither of them are going. So there we go. Like I say, thanks to Josh. If you haven't yet, 15 people in, please smash the likes. It does help with the YouTube algorithms. Dan, are you free to talk if you want to? I'll send you a link to pop on when the show's finished. We have a chat if you want. So please, like I say, smash the likes. It does help. It does help with the algorithms, which means that the show gets put in front of more people, so more people will see us and hopefully watch us and join. And if you haven't already, please will you subscribe to the channel? We're going for 1,500 subscribers. We started late, I know. So let me just hang on a second. Let me just have a look what we are at the moment. So if you could sub, I would love you forever. And if you don't sub, I'll love you even longer. So that's the threat. We've got a couple of great shows coming up. A couple of you have subbed during that. Thank you very much. 1:00 tomorrow. Bye, Casper. Casper, the friendly goalkeeper. Ant from Ant's Leicester fan channel, who was in earlier. We are doing a Casper special at 1:00. He's gone to Nice. We know it's going to be Ward or Everson. I think it's going to be Ward for the Premier League, Everson possibly for the Cups. And, he has said, Brendan Rodgers, if we buy somebody, it'll be a third choice. Although I do think we've got Stolchart for that. But if we have, we've got to reduce the squad because we've got more players than we can actually register. And that's why we can't buy anybody. We don't need to sell. But I forgot what I was going to say. It's completely gone. What was I talking about? Help me out, somebody. I'm reading the chat at the same time, and I shouldn't do that. But yeah. Oh no, Casper, 1:00 tomorrow. Yeah, we don't need to. Why go and waste money when we've got a £12 million goalkeeper sat on the bench? So yeah, there's a goodbye, Casper. 1:00 tomorrow lunchtime. 1:00 tomorrow lunchtime, guys, and then 7:00 tomorrow night. It's a 1-to-1. It's a premiere with Brian Little, ex-Leicester City manager. The manager that I reckon started to turn this club around. We only just managed to stay up in the second tier nearly for the first time in the history, we dropped down to the third tier, which of course we eventually did under Holloway. But despite us taking a few backward steps, Little came in and he transformed the club. We had the chief executive Barry Pierpoint who helped as well, but we got 3 seasons, to the playoff final. It was like a day out. It was like, oh yeah, get the Charabanc out, get it booked. We're off to Wembley again, and of course he was there for the Swindon, and he hates talking about that Swindon 4 Leicester 3 playoff final. But I had to ask him about it. He was also in charge for the Silence of the Lambs. And if you love him for no other reason, and I know there was some controversy when he left us, you got to love him for the Silence of the Lambs. Craig, it'll be Lampard. Scott agrees with me. I don't love you, Anthony. Sorry, mate. I love you like one of the family, mate. The dog. I don't know why you want to get rid of Arteta. He's got you higher. He's got you back into Europe. I just don't get that at all. Little was manager. He was manager of. Hello, Michael. How the devil are you, Scott? Well, he did play a behind the doors friendly. He played a behind the doors friendly to get his fitness up. So yes, he could well be. Scott's got to go, and he says, please subscribe to the channel and stay well. Thank you very much for popping on, Scott. So 7 o'clock tomorrow, Brian Little special. Lovely, lovely guy. And to me, one of my favourite Leicester City managers ever. And of course, at 1 o'clock, me and Ant, it will be the Kasper Schmeichel special. Come on and let us know your thoughts on Kasper. I'll send you the link afterwards, young Dan. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have been listening, thank you very much for lending me your ears. If you haven't already, like Scott said, please nip off and press that subscribe button. And also, please, please, please smash those likes. I'll see you tomorrow at either 1 o'clock or 7. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Remember, don't do anything I wouldn't enjoy. Good night now.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
Cool. I'm out of here. Ooh, that's a wrap.